Welcome and thanks for joining us on Real Investment News for your mid-morning market report. I'm your host, Scarlett Fakar. Right now, the Dow is up 100 points, S&P 500 up 10, NASDAQ up 19, oil is up 30 cents to 57.46 a barrel, and gold is down 20 cents to 1265.90. Now, this morning, we spent a lot of time talking about growth domestic product and growth domestic income. You'll find those full numbers in our market open and pre-market open. During this mid-morning market report, I want to focus on consumer spending and where Americans are actually spending most of their money. When comparing the Q3 GDP first estimate with Q3 GDP third estimate, in the first estimate, motor vehicles took up the lion's share of spending, as represented in this graph from Zero Hedge. You can see the blue lines right here represent those first numbers, the first estimates that I was just talking about. But after revisions, these red lines, look at this jump that hits you in the face all the way to the right. My friends, that is Obamacare. Consumers actually spent an overwhelming amount on healthcare in the third quarter. As Democrats continuously vote down all of Trump's attempts to repeal Obama's Healthcare Act, it means that healthcare will continue to contribute to GDP by being the single biggest marginal spending item until something changes. The contribution from motor vehicles was revised lower, despite economists' forecasts that this year's floods would send that number far above the others. The final revision has healthcare providing an incremental $22.1 billion in economic growth, reaching a new all-time high of $2 trillion in chain dollars. Again, this brings us back to a previous point I reported last week, stating consumers are spending the lion's share of their income on things they need, not things they want. U.S. household debt has grown by $605 billion in the past 12 months, with $116 billion, or nearly 1% of that, hitting in the last quarter. The tax cuts aren't necessarily going to help, because if you have $50 back through the tax cut but are still spending $100 on healthcare, there's really not any relief going on there for you. Long story short, consumer debt won't improve due to the tax cuts. We're going to have more in your reports, keeping you updated on all of this. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to have another market report here for you shortly.